Imagine a typical dinner party where the conversation inevitably shifts to career milestones, real estate gains, and massive retirement accounts. You listen as someone mentions maxing out their savings, while another brags about a rental property, leaving you feeling slightly behind. For many, this social pressure creates a deep sense of inadequacy as we compare our private struggles to others' public success. You might find yourself replaying the conversation late at night, wondering if you missed a vital lesson or a golden opportunity. We often judge our own progress against outdated societal checklists that fail to reflect the economic reality of the modern world. The truth is that many people are hiding their own financial problems, feeling just as anxious and uncertain as you are. In reality, federal data reveals a stark disconnect between common financial advice and the actual savings of most Americans today. While traditional experts suggest having 3 times your annual salary saved by 40, the median reality is significantly lower than that. Federal Reserve data shows that the median retirement savings for Americans aged 35 to 45 is roughly $50,000. This means that if you have $40, $50, or even $100,000 saved, you are actually doing better than many peers. A more realistic and achievable benchmark at age 40 is having 1.5 to 2 times your annual income saved. If you earn $60,000, a target around $100,000 puts you on a very reasonable and sustainable path. This is especially true if you continue contributing consistently during your highest earning years, which are often still ahead of you. Beyond just raw savings, true financial health at this stage requires a solid emergency fund to protect against life's unexpected turns. Ideally, you should have 3 to 6 months of essential expenses tucked away in a high-yield savings account for true security. This money is strictly for job loss, medical emergencies, or major home repairs rather than for vacations or impulse purchases. By 40, your financial foundation should be defined by a manageable debt load and a crystal-clear understanding of your monthly expenses. High-interest credit card debt should be completely eliminated by this age, as it compounds against you just as investments work for you. Student loans should be under control or nearly gone, leaving only a mortgage or a reasonable car loan as your primary debts. If you are carrying credit card balances month after month, that is the first and most critical problem you must solve. Income also matters significantly, as your earnings at 40 should generally be higher than they were when you were 30. Wealth building depends heavily on income, because saving 20% of a larger salary creates much more opportunity than a smaller one. Now let us talk about the common fear of being behind, and why many people assume they have missed their chance. In reality, catching up in your 40s can actually be easier than building wealth in your 20s for several key reasons. First, your earning power is usually much higher, allowing you to allocate more capital toward your future goals and investments. Second, many of the expenses that defined your early adulthood have likely stabilized, freeing up more cash flow for savings. Third, you understand money better now, having seen market ups and downs, making you less likely to make emotional mistakes. Consider the story of Marcus, who at 40 had only $25,000 saved and $10,000 in high-interest credit card debt. He earned $95,000 but felt stuck, so his first step was performing a deep audit of his monthly spending. He discovered unused subscriptions and recurring charges that were costing him hundreds of dollars every single month without him noticing. He refinanced his car loan and freed up nearly $500 monthly without having to change his overall lifestyle. Next, he focused entirely on eliminating credit card debt, directing every extra dollar toward the highest interest balance he held. 8 months later, the debt was gone, and he immediately pivoted to building a proper emergency fund for his family. After that, he increased his retirement contributions, capturing his employer match and gradually raising his savings rate over time. He also focused on increasing his income, earning a professional certification that led to a promotion and a major salary bump. Most importantly, he invested that raise instead of spending it, allowing his wealth to grow exponentially over the following years. 7 years later, Marcus had over $400,000 in retirement savings and was firmly on track for a comfortable future. The lesson here is not about luck or inheritance. It is about the power of consistent, disciplined financial action. The math is undeniably powerful, and someone who invests aggressively from age 40 can still accumulate substantial wealth by retirement. In many cases, a late starter contributing large amounts can outperform someone who started early but invested very little. Contribution intensity matters far more than just the starting date, as your savings rate is the primary engine of growth. Many people do not fail because of the math. They fail because of paralysis caused by information overload and shame. They read articles, watch videos, and plan endlessly, but the fear of being behind prevents them from taking any action. The solution is simple. Take one concrete, actionable step within the next 48 hours to change your financial trajectory. If you have high-interest debt, start a payoff plan today. If you have no savings, automate transfers into a high-yield account. Small, consistent actions create momentum, and momentum is what eventually turns into significant, long-term financial freedom. Career health matters too, as by 40, you should have a specialized skill that creates unique value in the marketplace. Specialists often earn more and face less competition, providing a safer and more lucrative path for your professional growth. You should also maintain professional relationships, as a strong network can help you recover quickly from an unexpected job loss. Income diversification helps as well, whether through consulting, investments, or a small side business to reduce your overall risk. For people already doing well financially, a different danger appears, the trap of complacency as income rises over time. As income grows, expenses often rise with it, leading to bigger homes, nicer cars, and more expensive daily lifestyles. Many people double their income but also double their spending, leaving themselves no closer to true financial freedom than before. Lifestyle inflation can quietly erase years of progress, so keep your expenses in check even as your earnings increase. Now think back to that dinner party and realize that the person bragging may also have large hidden debts. You do not know the full story, as most people compare their private reality to someone else's public highlight reel. The benchmark itself is not what matters most. What matters is your trajectory and the velocity of your financial progress. If you are ahead, do not coast. If you are behind, remember that your 40s may be your strongest wealth-building decade. 10 years from now, you will either look back on this moment as the point where you took control, or you will still be wondering. The benchmarks are not the point, and the numbers are not the goal. What you choose to do next is everything. Feeling behind at 40 is a common source of paralysis, yet this decade is often the most powerful period for wealth building. Many people assume they have missed their chance, but the reality of your 40s is far more optimistic than the common narrative. With higher earning power, stabilized expenses, and greater financial wisdom, late starters can often outperform those who began early but inconsistently. You have seen market ups and downs, which makes you less likely to make the emotional investing mistakes common in your 20s. Consider the case of Marcus, who demonstrates that success is built through a series of small, consistent, and highly actionable steps. At 40, Marcus felt stuck with limited savings and mounting debt, yet he managed to turn his entire financial trajectory around completely. The process begins with a ruthless audit of your monthly spending to identify exactly where your hard-earned money is actually going. He discovered unused subscriptions and recurring charges, freeing up hundreds of dollars every month without changing his actual lifestyle at all. Next, you must prioritize the elimination of high-interest debt, which acts as a heavy anchor dragging down your long-term financial growth. Marcus focused every extra dollar on his highest interest balance, and within 8 months, he had successfully wiped out his credit card debt. Once the debt is managed, focus on building a robust emergency fund that provides a cushion against life's inevitable and unexpected surprises. He built a fund covering 4 months of essential expenses, ensuring he would never have to rely on high-interest credit again. As your career advances, it is vital to aggressively invest your raises rather than letting them disappear into your standard monthly expenses. Marcus used a professional certification to secure a promotion, and he chose to invest that entire raise rather than increasing his spending. Avoiding lifestyle inflation is equally critical, as rising income should fuel your future savings rather than funding vanity purchases or status. 7 years later, Marcus had over $400,000 in savings, proving that consistent action beats luck every single time. The math is powerful, and someone who invests aggressively from age 40 can still accumulate substantial wealth by their retirement date. In many cases, a late starter contributing large amounts can outperform someone who started early but invested very little over time. Contribution intensity is the secret weapon that allows you to catch up, provided you remain disciplined and focused on the goal. Many people do not fail because of the math, but because of the paralyzing shame that prevents them from taking action. They read articles and watch videos, but they never actually start because they are afraid of being behind their peers. The solution is simple, and it starts by taking one concrete, measurable step within the next 48 hours of your life. If you have high-interest debt, start a payoff plan today, and if you have no savings, automate transfers into a high-yield account. If you are not investing, increase your retirement contribution immediately, because small actions create the momentum you need to succeed. Career health matters just as much as your savings rate, and by 40, you should have a specialized skill that creates value. Specialists often earn significantly more and face less competition, which provides a safer path to increasing your total annual income. You should also maintain professional relationships, as a strong network can help you recover quickly from any unexpected job loss. Income diversification helps as well, whether through consulting, rental income, or a side business to reduce your overall financial risk. For people already doing well financially, a different danger appears, which is the quiet, creeping threat of total complacency. As income rises, expenses often rise with it, leading to bigger homes and nicer cars that erode your financial progress. Many people double their income, but also double their spending, leaving themselves no closer to true, lasting financial freedom. Lifestyle inflation can quietly erase years of hard work, so keep your expenses low even as your salary begins to climb. Now, think back to that dinner party and the people bragging about their accounts, properties, and brokerage milestones. The person bragging about retirement savings may also have large debts, and the rental property owner may actually be losing money. The brokerage account milestone may have come from an inheritance, meaning you truly do not know the full story behind them. Most people compare their private reality to someone else's public highlight reel, which is a losing game for your mental health. That is a trap you must avoid, because comparing your progress to someone else's curated image will only lead to frustration. The benchmark itself is not what matters, because your personal trajectory is the only metric that truly defines your success. Someone with modest savings and a high savings rate can eventually surpass someone with a larger balance, but poor habits. Velocity matters more than position, and your ability to save consistently will always beat a large, stagnant pile of money. If you are ahead, do not coast, and if you are behind, remember that your 40s may be your strongest decade. Your income is higher, your understanding is better, and you still have plenty of time for the magic of compounding. The person who starts seriously at 40 can often outperform the person who started casually at 25 with no plan. 10 years from now, you will either look back on this moment as the point where you took control of everything, or you will still be wondering when you will finally start stuck in the same cycle of doubt and endless planning. The benchmarks are not the point of this journey, and they should never be used to judge your own personal worth. What you do next is the only thing that matters. So choose to take control of your financial future starting today. Break down your goals into tiny, manageable pieces that you can tackle without feeling overwhelmed by the scale of the task. Remember that every dollar you save is a step toward the freedom you deserve, regardless of where you started from. The path forward is clear, and it requires nothing more than the willingness to act on the knowledge you possess. Stop looking at the neighbors and start looking at your own bank statements, your own debt, and your own potential. You have the power to change your trajectory, and the best time to start is always the present moment. Focus on building real security rather than chasing the appearance of wealth that so many others are desperately trying to project. Financial security is a quiet, internal victory that provides peace of mind far beyond what any dinner party conversation offers. Trust the process of consistent, small contributions and watch how they grow into a significant foundation for your future life. You are capable of mastering your finances, and your 40s are the perfect time to prove that to yourself. Keep your eyes on your own goals, ignore the noise of social pressure, and stay committed to your personal financial growth. The journey to retirement is a marathon, not a sprint, and you are exactly where you need to be to win. Take that first step today and let the momentum carry you toward the comfortable and secure retirement you have earned. Your future self will thank you for the decisions you make right now, so start building that foundation with confidence.